Thank you everyone for joining. Ciao a tutti, I believe is the way to say hello. My name's Alex, as I said, and I have Francesca with me. We're going to go through a presentation just to introduce KAUST to you. And as Federica said, we will have some polls that we'll conduct throughout. So keep an eye out for them. Federica will jump in when she's going to launch them. We have a relatively smaller group today, so I'm happy if you guys want to put questions into the Q&A section of Zoom throughout the webinar or throughout the presentation, I guess, and Francesca and I can see them as they come through and answer them live if possible. Otherwise, we can do it at the end as well. So whatever you guys feel most comfortable with. Again, my name's Alex and I'm with my colleague Francesca. We're from the International Office or the International Programs Office. As Federica mentioned before, Francesca is from Italy. So if you'd like to ask some questions in Italian, please feel free to do that as well. So KAUST was established in 2009. We're a relatively young university, but don't let that fool you. We have achieved quite a lot and we are making our mark, which I'll show you a little bit later in the presentation. We are a graduate level university and we do focus on STEM. The four main areas that we focus around: food, water, energy, and the environment. And we believe these are four areas of global significance. Federica, maybe now would be a good time to launch the first poll. We would like to know if you've heard of KAUST before, or how much do you know about KAUST?
I've just launched the first question. Just, tap the answer on your device and we will be sharing the answer soon with all of you. And during the presentation, we will be launching some different polls. So it won't be the first one that you will answer for today. Perfect. So let me share the results.
Okay, this is good. So we have someone that knows KAUST very well. If you've been in one of our previous presentations, thank you, and it's good to see you again. And someone that knows a little bit about us as well. So it's good that some of you have heard of us. But it's also great to see that people are asking what is KAUST, and you've maybe just heard of us but don't know a lot. So this is really a presentation for you guys to get to know us a little bit better. One of the things that we do to introduce KAUST is to show you a quick video. Sometimes showing you rather than talking about it can be a lot more easy to translate. So we're going to show you a quick video. Keep in mind that everything that you see in this video is at KAUST. We're a very big university, 39 square kilometers. So we'll just press play and have a look, and then we'll go into it a little bit more. that's a quick video. Every time we watch that, it kind of wakes us up a little bit. It's the end of the day here, but pretty exciting stuff. I will note that if you guys are interested in looking at more things like our core labs here, for example, we have a really good suite of YouTube videos that you can look at and find out more about KAUST. And also even from a student's perspective as well, we have quite a few different videos that students have uploaded to their own channels. So feel free to take a look at that when you get the chance. I can see more people have joined, so it's really good to have you here. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A section at the bottom of the Zoom toolbar, and we'll also have a Q&A at the end. So welcome to all that has joined recently. This is a top view of our campus. It's comprised of quite a few different areas. This is a 39 square kilometer campus. So again, it's very, very big. This is our academic campus in purple. And around that, we do have a community with housing for staff and scientists, researchers. And we also have specific student housing, which is located right along the Red Sea. So when they developed KAUST just over 10 years ago now, they made sure that students had the best view and the best accommodation on the entire campus, overlooking the Red Sea. It's absolutely beautiful, and we're always a little bit envious of them. You also see here that we have a golf course, we have multiple gyms, we have a soccer pitch, soccer stadium, and what is not showing here actually is that we do have another residential area that's been developed here. It's actually where I'm talking to you from today, and Francesca. And then we also have a new housing expansion that is just opening up, I think this week. So quite a lot of development and a massive campus for everyone to enjoy. We have a few other things that students and our residents really love as well. You can see the golf course that I mentioned, but being on the Red Sea, we offer snorkeling. We have our own marina and own boats. We even have a bowling alley in addition to the medical center, which looks after your dental and all your medical needs there. So it really is like a small town. And the one thing that I should say is that it is a gated community, which means that people just can't come in from outside. It is one where we have security around the campus, and if you want to get in, you need to have a special pass. Unless you're a resident, you can come in and out. So some quick facts. We have over 1,300 students. We are a research university, so 77% of our students are PhD students. And we are very international. So 67% of our students come from another country outside of Saudi Arabia. I'll show you a little graph in a minute with the breakdown of that. One of the cool things that we often talk about and our students like is that we have a really strong student to faculty ratio, so that you will get attention doing your research here. We have just under 2,000 alumni. But keep in mind that we're only 10 years old, or just over 10 years old. So we're still developing that base, but they have done some amazing things, and we'll go into that shortly as well. The community itself just has under 7,500 members in it. And in terms of nationalities, there are almost 120 nationalities on the campus. So it truly is a international university and an international community. So this is a breakdown of our student body. You can see again, it's just over 76, now 77%. I just updated this before, so the majority are PhD students. We're proud that over 35% of our students are women. And if you compare that to the US and the top STEM universities around the world, we would fit within the top 5 in terms of percentage, which is something that, as I said, we are very proud of, and that percentage is growing. If you look at our nationality graph or wheel on the right, you'll see that Saudi Arabian students make up 33% of our demographics in our student body. And the rest is made up from Asia, which includes places like China, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore. We have North and South America, Europe making up 14%, other MENA areas at 4%, and Oceania and Africa at 2%. If you were quick at maths and you added all this up, it would be 101%. It's just because we've rounded up with the numbers. So overall, as you can see, a very diverse student body. So although we're 10 years old, or just over 10 years old, we have had a relatively strong global research impact. In our rankings, we ranked #1 in the world across the past 5 years now, I believe, in citations per faculty. So that's cited research per faculty member. We rank #1 in the A3 rankings for the top 20 universities under 20 years old. And we have 14 highly cited researchers at KAUST, which is 9% of our faculty. 9% may not sound like a huge amount, but when you compare that relative to most research universities, it is a very high percentage. On the right side of the screen, you'll see the institutions we collaborate with KAUST. Francesca has contributed to this significantly, her area of expertise. You can see here that we do have a lot of partnerships and research collaborations throughout the world, Europe with the most, and followed by Asia and the Americas. So this is a slide where everybody asks questions on after the presentation. So this one is quite important. We're going to talk about the fellowship offering that KAUST offers for all students that come. First of all, in terms of what we look at, we are a merit-based graduate university. All our language of instruction is in English. And we offer 3 different degrees: a master's degree, a PhD, and a master's to PhD pathway degree. The fellowship...
Let me know, Alex, when you want me to launch, do we have a question regarding scholarship? So I'll leave that to you whenever you want me to ask it.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we ask it now prior to going through it, and then we'll see how much interest there is to go deep into what this scholarship offers.
Thank you. So I'm just going to launch this poll now. So we're asking if scholarship is important for you. So we have a few options, and we just wanted to know if this is relevant. Perfect. So let me just share the results with you all, so we can comment. There you are. So we have 71% that says yes, it's very important, and then we have almost 30% that says yes, it's somewhat important. So I think it's you should listen carefully to what Alex is about to say.
Okay, well, that's good news, because it looks like most people feel like a scholarship is on the important side of things, and we're really proud at KAUST because we do offer an amazing fellowship. We feel like it's one of the best offerings in the world. All admitted students, that's students that have put in an application and finally get admitted, receive our KAUST fellowship. The idea is to support you through the duration of your graduate studies so that you can focus on your studies. There's no separate application for this. So when you apply, you're automatically considered for the scholarship in parallel to your admission. But the offering is really what we'd like to tell you about. So first of all, you get full tuition. You have no tuition costs at all in your program, and that's guaranteed for the duration of your program. You don't need to seek funding every year to research level. In a master's level, it's included throughout the whole program. You also get a really generous living allowance or stipend. It's annual, and whether you're a master's, it's from 20,000 US dollars, and it goes up to 30,000 US dollars per year at the PhD level. So a lot of students actually come to KAUST and end up leaving with more money than they came with. It's an amazing offering. All your housing and accommodation is taken care of. You get your own room. There are some quarters that you'd share, such as a kitchen and living room, but the rooms, and I believe we have some images later in this presentation, they're all modern. They come fully furnished, and that includes your electricity, your water, your internet. Everything is included in that as well. So there's no cost to you for your accommodation. Also included is your medical and dental coverage. So you'll receive Bupa insurance with that, and that covers you for the duration of your stay here. And we also provide relocation support, which is not just your flights out, but you also receive return flights home every year. And it also includes all your visa expenses and costs in that place as well. So it is a full package. You know, you hear a lot of the time fully funded scholarships that maybe they're only talking about tuition. This is an all-encompassing, fully funded fellowship for the duration of your studies while you're at KAUST. It's very generous, and would love to see you take advantage of it. The last thing I'll mention is there's no separate application for scholarship. It comes as part of your application to study in a program. I mentioned it earlier, we have 3 degrees, the master's, the PhD, and the master's to PhD degree, which is a pathway degree. I won't spend too much time on this one, but you all know what a master's degree is, a PhD. And the pathway degree combines the two for a single track and shortens the duration slightly.
Let me know if you also want me to check with the audience what sort of program they might be interested in. We actually have a question for this to see their interests.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, well, let me talk through this, and after I finish this, we'll launch the poll. So KAUST is made up of 3 academic divisions. Within them sit different programs and research centers, okay? So you can see on the screen, we have our BESI division, our SEMC division, and our PSE division. And within them sit the programs that are relevant to their discipline area. Within each division, we also have research centers, some amazing work coming out of there. And each of these research centers also have their own website, so you can go check that out as well. But as you can see here, we do cover quite a range of STEM-focused areas. One thing to note is that there is a lot of cross-discipline studies that are done and research that are done as well. So if you're confused about what area you're interested in studying, send us an email later and we'll be able to further advise you. In addition to our divisions, we also have the core labs, which are the workshops, the labs, radiation labs, visualization studios, all of that are part of the core lab area as well. So maybe we could launch that poll now, Federica, based on what people are looking at on the screen. Let us know what area you're interested in.
Perfect. So I'm just launching it now. And as for the other one, let's just tap the program, actually the division that you are mostly interested in. Now we'll be sharing the results.
Yep, and Francesca, if I'm missing anything, feel free to let me know more.
Perfect. So let me share the results. We have just almost 60% about the BZ, so biological, environmental, science, and engineering. Then we have physical science and engineering, and finally computer, electrical, and mathematical science and engineering.
Awesome. Great to see. Okay. So if you're looking at one of our programs, what are the requirements? You know, what do you need to be able to put a successful application in? Well, obviously we're a postgraduate university. So depending on whether you're going into a master's degree or a PhD, you're going to need your bachelor or master's degree in a relevant field of study. How do I say this? If you've studied business or you've studied anthropology or gender studies, that is not a relevant field of study. You need to have a relevant field of study within STEM to come into one of our programs and be considered. You need to have a statement of purpose and CV. We do need to see your official university transcripts from all the institutions attended. We know at the moment as well with COVID, it might be hard to get that. So if you are putting an application in, feel free to use the screenshots that you can get off your portal, but we will need to get the official ones at some point. The next point is raises a lot of questions. We have a cumulative GPA of around 3.5 out of 4. But we know that in Italy and many other countries, your school may not have a score out of this. Don't worry about that. We have an admissions team that does have the conversion charts, and they'll do all of that for you. So don't change your score into a percentage. Just submit what you have and put your score in as is. We do require an English language test, TOEFL or IELTS, and you can see the scores on the screen. We do need 3 recommendations, but the great thing about this is you do not need to get a recommendation written for you. What you will need to provide is just the contact details of your referees. They do need to be someone that can testify to your academics, or someone that you've worked with that can talk about your skills in that area, but they shouldn't be family members or friends. Nothing like that. But again, all you have to do is provide us with the contact details. We will reach out to them and contact them with the template that the admissions team have. The GRE is strongly recommended if you don't fall well within the kind of high percentage range. It can definitely help with your application. And if you are looking at a PhD, absolutely, you need to have some research experience. So that's a basic overview. If you want to find out more, I've got the admissions website listed at the bottom of the page there, and I'll give you guys a tip. We have a chatbot that is on the admissions website, and you'll be surprised. It's really, really good. We've answered over 37,000 questions that students have asked us. And we actually have people that sit on the back end and answer those questions every day. So if you do have any questions, that might be your first stop. Otherwise, you can email us later as well, and we'll be more than happy to help. Oops. Okay. Some of you may be interested in an internship. In fact, we did one of these sessions last year with Doxity, and one of our Italian students had attended that, actually came and did a VSRP internship with us. So the Visiting Student Research Program is our internship program. The duration is generally 3 to 6 months. And the reason why it's that duration and not shorter is because we bring you out here, you get trained on the equipment within the labs, and our labs are national lab level. So normally you wouldn't generally get access to this type of equipment and facilities unless you're a high-level scientist. But at KAUST, you'll get trained on it. It looks fantastic on your CV. And then you'll do some research work, which will contribute to a research project that we're doing. To be eligible for our internship, you either need to be in your 3rd-year bachelor program degree or a master's student. The GPA requirement is very similar to our admissions requirements. We are a little bit flexible from time to time, depending on the quality of your institution. You do not need to have an English test, but you do need to have strong verbal and written English skills. Resulting from our internship program, the VSRP, we have had students actually published as part of it. So it's significant research that you'll be doing. The benefits include very similar to the scholarship itself. You get all the housing, your airfares, all your insurance covered. You have access again to the core labs and major research and community facilities, and you get $1,000 US a month living allowance. So it's an amazing opportunity for anyone looking to do an internship or get some research experience. We have over 200 different internship projects available. Now we can't fill them all, so if you are interested, you will need to come online. Check it out at our VSRP website, which is just down here. If you click on projects, you'll see all that is available. Obviously, at the moment, as of now, we can't bring students over due to the current situation around the world, and we hope you are all safe and well. But there is potential to have a remote internship as well. So please have a look at our website. We've got them listed. If the remote area that you're not interested in isn't, if the remote option of, if the area that you're interested in, I finally got there, is not listed in the remote option, please send us an email, because it is possible that one of the projects is available to do remotely. It's just not listed. As you can see, the top countries that we get interns from are the UK, Italy, the US, Germany, Mexico, and France. Good to see Italy in there, Francesca. I think we've seen quite a few Italian students come through and enjoy the program as well. So that's the VSRP, different from our full program, but still a great opportunity to look at potential internship and gaining some experience. I'll quickly talk to the student housing and services. As I mentioned before, accommodation is provided. You get home maintenance, internet, you get a satellite television. All accommodation premises do have phones in them. We also have schools for children. And if you're looking to come to KAUST and you are married and you do have children, they will go to our IB school there for free, daycare centers and shopping and medical facilities. We do offer a lot of the recreational and social infrastructure as well on campus. We have over 30 eateries and coffee shops, Subway, Burger King, Domino's, and Starbucks, to name a few. Starbucks, we know is not the best coffee, unless you're maybe American, but it is something that surprises people that we do have it on the chain. I'm sure you get much better coffee in Italy. We also have a health clinic on campus as well. All your transportation is taken care of, and there is a supermarket for grocery shopping as well as our recreational facilities. You can see an image of the outside of some of the student accommodation, and as well as the bedrooms and living rooms as well. Normally I'd have Alyssa join us. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to today. She's one of our Italian students, but she has shared some pictures of some of the things that she gets up to at KAUST. She's very energetic and sporty, so she's run marathons. She's driven a boat out in the Red Sea by the looks. You can see an image of her working in the lab, as well as snorkeling in the Red Sea, cycling around Saudi Arabia. The rock climbing wall is another feature, another recreational feature that we have at KAUST available for students. And I believe the bottom right picture is of Alyssa in kind of the old area of Jeddah called Al Balad. So this is, that's the end of the presentation itself. If you have any questions for us, please put them into the Q&A. I can see some are there already. And if you want to raise your hand, you're welcome to do that as well. But maybe Federica, I'll take care of the the questions that we have already. There's one here that says, if you're already involved in a PhD program, could you have an internship? Thank you, Deborah, for your question, and thanks for joining us today. No, unfortunately not. If you're in a bachelor's or master's, you are able to look at doing an internship with us. The idea is that you have a look at it, you see if you like us and potentially apply later. But if you're already doing a PhD, we do have other programs like our visiting student program. Different from visiting student research program, it's just called visiting student program. With that program, if you find a faculty that you have some alignment with the work you're doing at the moment, it is possible to come and do a visit with us. Not so much an internship, but you will still receive a stipend and accommodation as part of that as well.
We also have Matteo asking about, if I graduate in July, can I still apply?
Yeah, so if you're graduating in July, our next rounds will open around towards the end of July, early August, September. So you're still well within the time frame there, and that will be for fall. One of the things that we do have at KAUST is a rolling admissions program as well. So if the program isn't full, we still accept applications. So if it depends what area you're interested in, Matteo, but it will be worth putting an application in still.
Perfect. Another question they're asking, how did KAUST dealt with COVID, and our class is remote now. So what is the situation now, and maybe how did you face the pandemic?
Yeah, so I think both Francesca and I feel very fortunate on campus, as it's extremely safe. We've even gotten to this stage now where, depending on where you are, we don't have to wear masks. We all have our vaccines as well. Well, the majority of the people on campus do have their vaccinations done, or at least their first shot. And we have testing all the time. In terms of our classes remote, some are for some students. Because of the border closures around the world, some students haven't been able to make it. So they're doing remote classes at the moment, but once the borders are open and they can travel safely, they'll be able to come here. As with any area at the moment, our first priority is the safety of our students and the safety of them, be it here or at home. So we take every precaution to ensure safety. So things like social distancing, making sure there's only a certain number of people in certain rooms that are large enough, all that type of thing is executed here at KAUST really well.
Perfect. And in terms of applications, so when someone puts an application, let's say I put my application in today, when I can expect to hear back from the admission office? What's the time when usually I can get a response?
Yeah, you know, it does take some time. Just to give everybody some idea, we have over 8,000 applications every intake. And then in terms of people coming in, a few hundred. So the admissions team need to go through each individual applications. They need to check referees. They need to make sure all the documents are correct. So in that case, it does take a little bit of time, but generally a few weeks. There is also, dependent on the PhD, on the level, if it's a PhD or a master's, there may be some faculty reviews, and the faculty may also reach out to you in order to discuss your program more. So it does take some time, but given the amount of applications that we get versus the intake, it's understandable.
Speaking about this, can you...
Federica, I had an idea. Since we're doing this in Italy, why don't you ask Francesca some questions in Italian?
Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely great. Ciao Francesca, quindi grazie mille per essere qua con noi questa sera, e assolutamente per voi connessi, qualsiasi tipo di domanda che avete anche in italiano, non vi preoccupate, potete scriverla nella sezione Q&A. Quindi Francesca, volevo chiederti se puoi darci magari un'idea di quanto grandi sono le classi. Quindi Alex parlava di tante applicazioni Education, quindi quante persone ci sono in media in una classe?
Allora, devo dire che il numero è estremamente variabile a seconda del programma, perché ci sono alcuni programmi in cui le classi sono veramente composte da gruppi molto piccoli di studenti e invece in altre materie sono più numerose. Comunque credo che Alex l'abbia già menzionato all'inizio, il ratio, il rapporto tra il numero di studenti e il numero di docenti è veramente ottimale, perché è veramente un ratio che è tra l'1 a 7 e 1 a 8, quindi veramente non comparabile con la media delle altre università. Ogni studente è veramente seguito in maniera specifica e direi proprio individualizzata. C'è un rapporto diretto non solo tra lo studente e il suo advisor, ma anche con gli altri faculty del programma, perché è veramente un percorso che si fa insieme. E legandomi anche a questa domanda, mi viene da aggiungere una notazione che trovo sempre importante da fare quando parliamo con gli studenti italiani, e che è questa impressione che ho io dell'attività in laboratorio qua, che è davvero diversa da quella che si fa altrove nel mondo e purtroppo anche spesso in Italia. Gli studenti hanno tantissima libertà di portare avanti le proprie idee nella ricerca e sperimentare praticamente. Fortunatamente abbiamo gli spazi, abbiamo le facilities, abbiamo i fondi, quindi non c'è bisogno in qualche modo di mettersi sulla scia di un docente, aspettare anni, 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 facendo solo quello che viene ordinato. C'è veramente tempo e spazio per poter sperimentare in proprio le proprie idee. Secondo me è uno degli incentivi più forti per venire qua.
Grazie mille Francesca. Luigi ci chiede se il test di inglese è necessario, quindi se in qualche modo si riesce a dimostrare la propria abilità nella lingua inglese magari durante il colloquio. C'è una possibilità che questo diciamo prenda il posto di un certificato o è necessario?
Allora, io da quanto so il certificato è obbligatorio, ma Alex, I have to involve you.
We can ask
Because you better than I do. Is the English proof of language, the certificate, mandatory, or if a person speaks fluently?
No, it is mandatory. It is mandatory. If you have, I believe there are certain countries, so Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the US, the UK, England. If you come from one of those countries, then it's okay. And we know like a lot of students may have studied overseas at an English speaking university, but if you're not from one of those countries, you will need to provide it. The good news is because of COVID, the TOEFL and the IELTS online testing is readily available, and we're accepting the online tests now. So it is mandatory. You do need to take it, and you do need to provide that for admission.
Thank you so much, Alex.
I gave the right answer. I'm relieved.
Yeah. There's some more Q&As in Italian, so
Sorry, another question in Italian. Ci chiedono se si accede automaticamente al dottorato dopo il master.
Allora, nì, nel senso che abbiamo due tipi di percorsi diversi. Esiste per la maggior parte dei programmi la possibilità di intraprendere il percorso combinato di master e PhD che offre questa opportunità. Quindi si accede al master e si prosegue direttamente al PhD senza dover fare nulla in mezzo. C'è da dire però che questa scelta va fatta all'inizio, cioè se invece uno studente si iscrive a un master fine a se stesso e poi strada facendo decide invece di proseguire per il PhD, in quel caso allora si va ad aggiungere la parte di PhD, però con tutte le necessarie attività sia di tipo burocratico che accademico.
Perfetto, ci viene scritto da Sivo, ci chiede una laurea in ingegneria informatica 110. Non so se magari questa domanda è per quanto riguarda eventualmente il background o il voto di laurea, se con questo background e questo voto di laurea si può fare un'application, diciamo.
Decisamente sì. Abbiamo un programma in computer science, ma non solo. Abbiamo tantissimi altri programmi nelle 3 divisioni che hanno un overlapping spinto, quindi sì, e può anche ambire appunto a diverse opzioni.
Okay, so Ludovic is actually asking us in English. I'm interested in the PhD in computer science, and there are a few professors I recognized. For example, Daniele Boffi. Will I be able to choose which professor to follow me during my PhD?
Our suggestion is always for the student to reach out directly to the faculty. Our faculty usually, I would say always reply to students, prospective students' emails, and they are very happy to be involved. So if he has a preference, my suggestion is don't be shy, send that email, contact the faculty. You can discuss with the faculty the best options for you two to work on a common project. You can check the availability and also the suitability. So yes, please contact them.
So thank you, Francesca, and also Ludovico is thanking us. Okay, so looks like all the questions we are receiving are in English, so maybe people want to practice, which is great. How can we get in touch with Italian students?
There are several ways, actually. Francesca no doubt knows a lot more of the Italians at KAUST than I do, but I'll tell you a way that we kind of give advice for in general. So in every research area, they have a breakdown of who's in the labs generally, or who's in a research group. So if you look at a specific program on one of our websites, you'll see the faculty involved, but you'll also see the students. So you're also able to reach out to students that way. That's more of a, I guess, a cold touch way. The other way is that we do have, often have Q&A sessions with students. So if you've signed up to us, and you will get an email after this presentation from Doc City with a link to our registration form. We often have Q&As with students, just quick ones or admissions ones. So make sure you're signed up with us because you get information from us there. In our previous webinar, which was not for Italy specifically, we did have some students join, and they also shared their Instagram addresses. It might be, I'm not sure if all of them are public, but that the students that do share publicly, you can definitely contact them there as well. Francesca, the only other way I think of from my point is if you email us and you tell us what you're interested in, we can
help. For sure, I can put them in contact with some students.
Thank you both.
Please consider that the Italian community is quite huge in KAUST. I think we have more than 100 people, so you don't risk to feel lonely. You are going to meet even too many people from Italy.
Thank you, Francesca. So Luigi is actually asking us if the recommendation can come from the industrial world other than the academic, so talking about the admission process.
Yeah. I mean, Luigi, it looks like from your previous comment, you're interested in a PhD. Now, obviously, if you've done some research at an academic level, you should include some of the academic referees as well. But if you know, the majority of your research is done in industry and you've been working and that's how you've been conducting your research, yes, that's absolutely fine as well.
Thank you, Alex. So we actually now have some questions in Italian, and as we said at the beginning, as all the audience is Italian, we can just go ahead and answer them in Italian since we have Francesca. So I'm just going to switch. Achille ci sta chiedendo, non ho ben capito la parte della lingua inglese, se ci vuole un certificato B2 o dobbiamo fare anche un test. Quindi se il test è comunque necessario, se si possiede un certificato.
No, non è necessario il test.
Perfetto. Mentre Anastasia ci chiede quanto dura il master e se la tesi è obbligatoria.
Allora, anche per questo non c'è una risposta univoca, dipende dai programmi. Anche all'interno dello stesso programma ci possono essere due tipi di opzioni, ossia il master senza tesi o il master con tesi. I nostri faculty generalmente preferiscono la tesi, però non è obbligatoria nella maggior parte dei programmi, si può scegliere l'opzione preferita. La durata anche qui può essere un pochino variabile, però diciamo che la durata standard sono 2 anni.
Perfetto, grazie mille. Ci viene chiesto quanti articoli si devono pubblicare mentre si studia, immagino sia per un dottorato.
Alex, help again. I don't think there is a unique answer to this question, but maybe you have a better idea. How many publications is the student required to publish during the PhD path?
I'm not sure if there's a specific number involved. I mean, they work on a project and they could be working across some. We know that some students are also working on projects, not just with KAUST, but other institutions as well while they're at KAUST. So I'm not sure of a specific number, but I think relative to a faculty's expectations, it will be worth contacting the faculty that you're interested in working with and asking the faculty directly those questions.
I think that it depends also on the project. So it's not something decided previously to the real process.
Abbiamo una domanda, ci chiedono, ho perso la connessione per un attimo, forse magari abbiamo già risposto, che cosa è esattamente il GPA che viene richiesto come entry requirement, quindi come si traduce in italiano il GPA? Che immagino appunto sia quello che è il voto di laurea.
Esatto, è un sistema metrico per calcolare i voti, ovviamente non è in vigore in Italia, quindi l'admissions utilizza semplicemente una tabella di conversione in modo da poter esaminare i voti di laurea italiani che vengono fatti corrispondere a un determinato GPA. Devo dire che comunque c'è flessibilità, come ha detto anche Alex, anche, non solo perché il sistema metrico è diverso, ma proprio perché ci sono obiettivamente dei paesi in cui i voti vengono dati in maniera più generosa e altri in cui invece sappiamo che c'è maggiore severità e rigidità, quindi siamo consapevoli di queste differenze, non solo tra l'altro tra paese e paese, ma anche da università a università, quindi sicuramente magari un voto un pochino più basso, però ottenuto in un'istituzione di una certa caratura può pesare quanto un voto più alto preso altrove, se non di più.
Ci viene chiesto quanto conta aver fatto la magistrale, non so se per accedere al dottorato o per accedere a un master.
dipende dal percorso che si sceglie, dipende da qual è l'obiettivo, nel senso che per accedere al master non è un requisito necessario, può essere un di più, però è un di più, sicuramente non va a pesare in maniera rilevante.
Ok, io direi che avendo appunto la fortuna di avere Francesca con noi oggi, vorrei magari approfittare per chiedere la tua esperienza a KAUST. Quindi hai già magari detto di quanto sia importante l'approccio, quindi sicuramente molto diverso da quello che si può avere in Italia, ma anche nel resto del mondo. Magari vorrei chiederti un po' com'è la tua esperienza, che cosa ti senti di dire a chi ci sta ascoltando.
Io sono qui da quasi 5 anni e mezzo, quindi direi che la scelta che ho fatto si è rivelata positiva. Faccio una vita che, confesso, è estremamente simile alla vita che facevo prima in Italia, perché così, anche per darvi qualche idea su quella che è la nostra quotidianità, come vedete non abbiamo particolari obblighi di abbigliamento, quindi siamo liberi di vestirci, muoverci, fare le stesse cose che facciamo a casa in Italia. Io sono molto soddisfatta del lavoro che ho qua perché c'è un ambiente internazionale diversissimo, inclusivo. Soltanto nel nostro ufficio noi siamo in 9 e abbiamo 8 nazionalità diverse che coprono tutto il mondo, cioè tutti i continenti. Quindi sicuramente c'è uno scambio costante, continuo, che arricchisce molto. Se c'è stato un momento in cui veramente sono stata felice di essere qui, è stato nell'ultimo anno, perché devo dire che la sensazione di sicurezza, di protezione, di libertà che ho provato qua, purtroppo non avrei potuto provarla altrove. Essendo un po' un piccolo microcosmo, abbiamo avuto la fortuna, il privilegio di essere seguiti, supportati, veramente anche controllati, tra virgolette, ma in maniera positiva a livello, insomma, di salute nel migliore dei modi. E abbiamo avuto anche la fortuna, grazie a questo, di poter ricominciare una vita normalissima prestissimo, per cui faccio un esempio che non riguarda me, ma mia figlia ha fatto tutto l'anno scolastico a scuola in persona, quindi insomma si vive veramente normalmente. Tornando un po' alla quotidianità, come Alex diceva, le possibilità di fare tante cose diverse ci sono dentro il campus, ci sono anche fuori. Noi siamo ovviamente una specie di piccola città, però non siamo rinchiusi dentro, abbiamo i bus che ci portano gratuitamente, quotidianamente a Jeddah, che è la grande città più vicina che abbiamo. Quindi ci si può muovere, si può andare nei mall, si può andare al ristorante, si può andare a fare una gita. Tantissimi studenti organizzano camping, spedizioni, vanno a vedere insomma le varie oasi, a fare trekking. C'è tanto da vedere ed è anche una grande occasione avere la possibilità di vedere il paese che sta appena aprendo al turismo, quindi ci sono dei posti veramente diversi, ancora molto incontaminati, che magari in futuro diventeranno invece meta di molti più viaggiatori. Ecco, direi che un po' è questa la mia esperienza. Io sono qua, non sono ancora per nulla stufa, continuo ad avere stimoli ogni giorno, a conoscere persone nuove ogni giorno e soprattutto, ecco, mettendomi nei vostri panni, per uno studente è davvero un'occasione incredibile, non solo a livello finanziario, ma proprio a livello di opportunità e di esperienza di vita.
Grazie mille Francesca. Ci chiedono un altro paio di domande, quindi abbiamo ancora del tempo, quindi chiederei quanto conta aver studiato in un politecnico, e poi ci chiedono se una volta conseguita la laurea magistrale in Italia è possibile poter accedere al PhD e ci sono dei periodi specifici per fare l'application.
Politecnico dipende, nel senso che in Italia ci sono gli ottimi istituti che hanno più su un curriculum che ci... E quindi noi abbiamo anche degli accordi.
I think, Francesca, if you can hear us, the sound isn't fantastic.
Yeah, so now I think she's just trying to connect back. So we will be, yes.
Mi sentite? È caduta la connessione per un attimo.
Now yes.
Sì, stavo dicendo che abbiamo anche degli accordi con il Politecnico di Milano, il Politecnico di Torino, quindi sono istituzioni che conosciamo molto bene, con cui collaboriamo. Ovviamente poi dipende un po' anche da tutte le altre informazioni che riguardano lo studente, dai voti agli obiettivi, eccetera.
I think lost her again.
Francesca, maybe try turning off your camera.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe turn off the camera, Francesca. It might work a bit better.
Can you hear now?
It's still like metallic, so maybe if you try to turn off the camera, sometimes it helps.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think.
May have lost her, but.
Okay, now I think she's back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I think that the problem is in my house. I'm in between two routers, so that's the issue. Sì, dicevo che quindi la laurea magistrale è propedeutica all'application per un PhD. Periodi per applicare sono abbastanza flessibili, nel senso che noi abbiamo due momenti di ingresso, insomma, per i 2 semestri, a settembre, a febbraio, però chiaramente si può applicare fino a ridosso di questi momenti di ingresso, come diceva Alex, sperando nell'eventualità di trovare una vacancy nel programma. Comunque le application vengono accettate durante tutto l'anno, quindi se siete interessati vale comunque la pena contattare il faculty, in caso contattare noi, informarsi, perché soprattutto nell'ultimo anno e mezzo abbiamo cercato di essere molto molto flessibili.
Perfetto, grazie mille. Abbiamo risposto a tutte le domande che sono arrivate, and I'd like to thank Alex and Francesca.
Grazie a voi.
The presentation and their experience. We actually had a poll that maybe we could launch about the interest into applying. So we can maybe launch this one just before thanking everyone. So I'm just going to launch it now. So we wanted to know, after the presentation you've heard from Francesca's experience, Alex has introduced us the KAUST. And as mentioned, we will be definitely sending you an email after this webinar so we can get in contact. And in case you have any further questions, we will be sharing with you an email address. Okay, so let me share the results. Okay, so we have 46% interested in PhD, and then someone who's undecided yet, and then Masters of Science, and finally MS and PhD.
Oh, that's fantastic, and thank you everyone for spending a part of your evening with us tonight. Thank you, Francesca, as well,
Thank you
for joining, and speaking in Italian, I think it's really appreciated. And Federica, thank you for hosting us today. And I think as a last word, if you're interested, have a look at our website. We'll also have the form that gets sent out in an email for you. If you register with us, we'll give you the updates on when our events are, when our deadlines are coming up, and when we have other webinars and events happening as well. So thank you all again.
Thank you so much, Alex and Francesca, for your time. And I wish you all a great rest of your evening, and we look forward to seeing you very soon at the next live webinar of KAUST University. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.